Salutations, people who watch things on the internet. It's been a while since I've done a do or do not, so I thought it would be a great time to do another one. Up on the roof again. It's a pretty beautiful day today here in Southern California. We'll do the 360 spin a couple more times because that's awesome. So last night I got to see a sneak preview or a preview of a new movie called The Beaver. And you may or may not have heard about this movie. It's a brand new movie directed by Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster is also in it. But the more surprising and somewhat controversial thing is Mel Gibson's in this movie. And just saying that alone brings up a lot of thoughts and ideas and feelings about Mel Gibson and the way he's behaved in the last few years and his overall artistic integrity. But I got to see this movie through KCRW. I'm a member of that station, radio station here in LA, and it's amazing. And they do these movie screenings, once every month or so. And Matt Holzman, who curates the series and is a DJ, DJ, that's what they're called, people on the radio, said this about the movie. He's like, whether or not you like or dislike Mel Gibson, it's a really interesting movie, and you have to give it some thought about it, and you almost kind of just have to forget the fact that it is Mel Gibson, and even if you hate Mel Gibson, you're seeing it for free, so you're hurting him anyways. And I thought that was kind of very interesting that he had to paint this picture about this movie in a way that made you not think about whatever baggage you have associated with Mel Gibson. So, I'll just say now, I'm going to give this a do, for the reasons that it's a very intriguing movie in the sense, well, let me tell you the premise of the movie. Mel Gibson plays a guy who's just seriously, clinically depressed, and he kind of hits rock bottom and finds a puppet beaver, and I'll put a link in the description for the trailer. And he starts living a persona that comes through the beaver, and I'm just going to talk like this the entire talk. And so the beaver speaks for him in actually a different voice and becomes a representation of who Mel Gibson's character, is not. And it's really interesting, and Matt gave a little summary about the movie beforehand, and he said it's a very Hollywood movie in the sense that it's extremely predictable, and it hits all the Hollywood cues in terms of, this is going to happen, and there's very, easy to figure out emotional storylines and things like this. But at the same time, it's not Hollywood at all. Like, there's something very, very interesting about this movie that I enjoyed. It lives in the world of Hollywood land, but then it also lives in this almost independent and thought-provoking and really deep movie land at the same time. And the whole Mel Gibson thing, it almost becomes a non-issue. Like, his performance, and I put up a Twitter review, and I'll put that down below too. And it always forces me to think really carefully about a movie when I have to describe it in 140 characters, that Mel Gibson kind of really wears this role. And I think part of it is that the character's a little crazy, and Mel Gibson may be a little crazy, and that may have just added to the performance overall. And apparently, Steve Carell and Jim Carrey both slated to play these roles, or the role ahead of time. But there was something that was just very fitting for Mel Gibson to be in this role, and it was perfect. And you very quickly got over the fact that it was Mel Gibson. Number one, because of the voice that he does when he's talking as the beaver. It's very more his original Australian accent that he has. But I didn't have to sit there and go, oh crap, I'm watching Mel Gibson, whether I feel one way about him or another. It made me see past that, and that, is a sign as a great actor, is I don't see the person, I see the character. And I saw the character. And at the same time, there were some very key moments that I saw a relationship between what the character was going through and what Mel Gibson personally probably has gone through in terms of all the crap that's been going on in his life, which in a sense was like, there's no way Steve Carell could have played this character. There's no way Jim Carrey could have played. There was this deep, intense hurt that was behind his eyes in some of these scenes that was pretty fantastic. The rest of the cast is really amazing. Jodie Foster does a great job. The kid who plays the son was also Scotty in the new Star Trek movie. He did a great job. I really enjoyed the character development. The younger son was great. You know, and like I said, it was very Hollywood. Like, all these characters were extremely archetypical. The little kid is a loving son who just wants to love his dad, and the older son, who's a teenager, just really doesn't want to be his dad. And you know, all this stuff that's played out 1,000 times in other movies was part of this movie. But for whatever reason, it worked. It worked really well, and it'll be interesting to see what happens once this comes out. It doesn't come out for, I think, another couple weeks, sometime in May. What the critics really think of this, if they can get over the Mel Gibson perception, if they really see Jodie Foster's directing in this. And I don't see this being a very big commercial success. It may get a lot of press initially in terms of, oh, it's Mel Gibson's new movie, and what do we think about this? And dragging up all of Mel Gibson's crap. And then I think no one's going to see it, or at least not the wide general public. I think people who are especially in the industry to commentate on how this movie was made and why it was made and why it was written and why it was casted the way it was casted. I think there'll be a lot of commentary on it, but I don't think everyone's going to be talking about it. And I think come to the end of the year, and I'm pretty willing to put some money on this, that there will be a lot of people talking about this being one of the movies that you should have seen earlier this year. And it may or may not, and this, you know, I think it'll probably get some nominations, or at least it'll be on some very short list of movies at the end of the year that people were like, we kind of missed out on this one. So I really enjoyed it. I really did like it, and I wanted to take some time. I wanted to shoot this last night, but I was like, no, I have to stop and think about this movie for a little while and think about why it is what it is. And I'm still not there, and it's just because it skirts this line. It's not Hollywood, it's not independent, but it is Hollywood and it is independent, and it's something about this magical combination where everything just kind of came together. So go out there, check it out. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Please go subscribe if you haven't. Check out the last Do or Do Not, the Dance Central review. I'll try to do some more video game stuff. Actually, I have another one coming up very soon for another video game. So I hope you guys are enjoying these. I may launch a subscription contest here in a little while too. So let me know what you think of the Beaver. Go watch the trailer, and then we'll see you guys later. Adios. Button. Where's the button? Button. Where's the button? Button.